Once Sam opened the doors to the school, she looked around to make sure the coast was clear. Once she knew that the coast was clear, free from monsters, Clover and Alex followed her inside the elementary school. Lights were still on, meaning that there were generators in the school that kept the power on and running. "There is no one here. Let's have a look around," Sam said. She, along with Clover and Alex, looked around on the first floor of the school. While looking around the school, Sam found an earring with a diamond on it on the ground. When she bent down to pick it up, the earring, she examined it closely. "Could that be Dominique's earring?" Clover asked. "I mean, she has here before she was kidnapped." "That could be a good clue. You have a good point, Clover," Sam said, as she stood back up. She looked towards the hallway to see a figure there. This not only made Sam and her friends nervous, but confused as well. They had no idea what this figure was doing in the hallway. "Hey!" Clover called out to the figure, but it took off running in the opposite direction. This having the Spies to chase after the figure. By the time they reached the end of the hallway to find where the figure went off to, the figure was gone. When they looked both ways, "It's gone. Whoever or whatever it is, they must be hiding," Alex said. And when the girls walked down the other end of the hallway, Sam heard a voice of a crying woman from down the hallway. As the girls all listened to the crying, they followed the sound down the hallway. "Someone's crying, but I don't know if it's Mandy or her friends. Whoever it is, I hope they're okay," Sam said, hearing the crying from the kitchen door that opened a crack. Sam slowly opened the door with her friends behind them, looking around to see if the woman was having her back towards the Spies. "It's a woman, but why is she so upset?" Alex asked. "I'm guessing she was scared like everyone else is in this place," Clover answered, then got Sam to grab her fire axe in hand, ready to attack in case if this woman was a monster. She headed towards the woman, softly talking to her, even placing a hand on her shoulder. Suddenly, the woman turned around very quickly, scaring the living shit out of Sam, making her almost fall down since she was startled. "Fuck!" Sam cursed, hitting the woman in the shoulder with the axe. The woman screamed in agonizing pain, gripping her shoulder as she transformed into one of those monsters that were seen in Silent Hill. Sam tried to turn to grab her gadget from her jetpack when the woman jumped on Sam, pinning her to the ground. Alex grabbed the axe and tried to hit the woman again, only to be grabbed by another monster. Clover, at first, was unsure of what to do, since two of her friends were being overwhelmed by the monsters attacking them. "Clover, do something!" Alex shouted. "Kill these monsters!" Sam shouted as well, struggling to keep the woman off of her. Clover found a crowbar on the ground, grabbing it before running towards the woman, pinning Sam down. Clover hit the woman hard in the head as she could, making sure that she didn't hit Sam by mistake. As the woman had a hard blow to her head, Sam pushed the body off of her before standing back up to wrestle the monster that was attacking Alex. Clover repeatedly smashed a crowbar into the woman's head over and over again. While Clover was doing that, Sam grabbed the monster, grabbing Alex in the head with a large knife. After Alex was saved by Sam, the girls saw that Clover had lost it. They saw a bloody mush of blood and brain matter on the ground. Clover was in over her head at this. She had saved Sam, but didn't stop to help Alex. Sam then walked towards Clover, placing her hand on her friend's shoulder. "Clover, it's dead," Sam said, but Clover wouldn't stop hitting the woman on the ground. "Clover, stop!" Sam shouted, then took the crowbar away from Clover once she stopped smashing the woman's head. Clover felt exhausted. Smashing the woman's head repeatedly had tired her out quickly. "You okay?" Alex asked, checking on Clover. "I'm sorry, I lost it right there, girls," Clover replied quickly. "It's okay, Clover. You saved me from this woman. I know you've lost it. It's okay," Sam said. Clover soon started to break down into tears, meaning that she was at the point where her breakdowns may go violent if provoked. "Sammy, is Clover okay?" Alex asked, unsure of what to do. "She is, Alex. I hope she is. She's just having an emotional breakdown. She needs a moment to let it out," Sam said, hugging Clover close to her. "It's okay, Clover. I know this place is messing with our minds, but we'll put an end to it eventually," Sam softly spoke. Alex looked through the other door of the kitchen of a storage room. She then walked inside to see some storage of food cans and containers. Most of the food was out of date, meaning that most of the food in the room had expired. Alex searched through the stuff. When she found some containers, she grabbed it and then looked to see what was inside the container. Since it was all tinted in black, she could not see what was inside from the outside of the container. Curious as she was, Alex opened up the container. A foul smell hit her like a brick, causing Alex to gag from the smell. It was a smell of rotting flesh. No doubt anyone would gag at that smell, as well as a possibility of puking. Clover eventually calmed down after she cried into Sam's chest. Sam whispered soft and happy things to her so that Clover would calm down easily. Usually when Clover is in an emotional state, it could take up to an hour for her to calm down, depending on what she was upset about. Clover's eyes were red from crying, but she and Sam looked at Alex to see what was in her hand was a container. "Okay, you okay now?" Alex asked. "Yeah, I just had an emotional breakdown, but Sam calmed me down," Clover answered. "What's that, Alex?" Sam asked, pointing at the container that was at Alex's hands. "Does it smell like rotting flesh?" Sam questioned, thus having Alex to hand her the container. "I found it in the storage room, but the smell is so foul," Alex said, answering for her Sam. Sam took a deep breath, preparing for the worst to come. Clover was also doing the same. Sam opened up the container, while doing her best not to gag at the foul smell hitting her and Clover. Inside the container was a person's hand. Not only that, but it was rotting. It looked like it had been there for a day or two, and the flesh was being eaten away by being rotted in the container slowly. "Ew! That smell is even worse than a garbage truck!" Clover gagged, feeling close to puking. "No shit. I wonder if my X powder can detect whose hand it was," Sam wondered, using her X powder to analyze the severed hand, holding back any vomit that threatened her throat. "I wonder whose hand it was. It must be someone that disappeared here," Alex said. "It happened to be a person's name going by Judy," Sam stated. "That person is someone we have no idea who it is. Whoever this Judy person is, I feel sorry for her, whatever fate she went through," Clover sighed, thinking about the possibilities of what happened to the victim of Silent Hill. "It looks like there's nothing here, so let's head upstairs and search for the second floor. And if we don't find anyone or any clues up there, we'll head out and search for somewhere else in Silent Hill," Sam stated. Thus, having herself, Clover, and Alex head to outside of the kitchen and headed upstairs to the second floor. Once they reached the second floor, they all split up to search for clues. Sam then walked inside what looked like a third-grade classroom. It looked as if the students were in classroom. However, the only difference was that there was no one inside the school, other than herself and her two best friends. Sam then looked on the teacher's desk to see a note. She noticed it had 2 drops of blood on it. Whoever wrote in the note must have been bleeding, but where they were bleeding from was a question that left unanswered. After reading the note, Sam sighed and ripped it into shreds, seeing that the note was just useless, as it was written just a normal note for teachers. "Useless," Sam sighed, throwing the ripped pieces of paper onto the nearest waste bin by the teacher's desk. When she hears what seemed to be a woman's voice from the vents of the school, Sam could barely hear what that sound was. She wasn't sure whose voice it was she was hearing, but there was a possibility that it could have been one of Mandy's friends, or Mandy herself. "Sam, we heard voices coming from the other classrooms, and they're coming from the vents," Alex called out, as she and Clover ran towards the classroom Sam was in. "I heard it too, but I wonder where they're coming from. There's no one in this school besides us, unless someone's here somewhere out where," Clover said. She, along with Sam and Alex, followed the source of someone's voice coming from the vents. As they were following the voice, however, they headed down the stairs through the hallways, but they couldn't find anyone there. They did, however, search the basement of the school, but found no one down in the basement. Seeing that no one was in the school, the girls all headed out of the school, confused as to what the noise of the voice they heard in the vents were. "Well, we heard voices that were inside the vents, but we saw no one inside," Alex sighed. I'm assuming that it must have been the paranormal voices we've been hearing in the vents. So we were a bit fooled, Sam said. Then she looked towards the fog where it was thickening like crazy. The only thing they saw through the fog was the street lights that were on, lighting the way, although the fog was very thick. And they really couldn't see in front of them unless they were close enough to it. The fog has gotten thicker. We better stay together and not wander off, Clover advised. I think we should search for that motel we passed on our way to Lincoln's hotel. There may be clues or something that can help us. You're right, Clover. Let's go, girls, Sam said, heading for her friends to find a way towards as they passed through the thickening of the fog. In the lair of where Pyramid Head hides, he was just doing his patrolling when he looked at the cameras that were all over Silent Hill on the screens. Since there were security cameras all over the location, he looked up to see Sam, Clover, and Alex that were walking through the fog that was thick before them. So, you think you could find your enemies you know from Beverly Hills, Mandy, Dominique, and Caitlin, eh? Well then, I'd like to see you try, Pyramid Head grinned evilly while staring at the security camera screens. If you manage to get that far, I'll see you in hell at that time.